Someone asks Jevi why he always carries 2 copies of the script with him. Jevi smiles and replies that it is in case he loses one. The interlocutor praises him for his thorough preparation and suggests that he go out to eat. Jevi agrees, but then we see that he is lying and has another reason for carrying 2 scripts. He holds up a folder, one for display, one for himself. He puts the folder down and activates something. An offer to absorb the drama Train of Youth appears. He smiles contentedly, holding another folder. This one is for personal use. Park Chan-ik, the team leader, is on the phone with the director, discussing the casting of Song Moon-gyo. He's surprised at the early time of the call and mentions that the filming is only with the B team. He then talks irritably on the phone, complaining that the person on the phone hung up on him. Jewi looks tired and depressed, noting that the day feels like a war zone. Jevi comes to another man's office. The newcomer asks about the new additions. He is shown a large stack of scripts and explained that these are all scheduled for launch in the first half of the year. He is surprised and puzzled by this amount. Jevi asks permission to look at the scripts. The other gives permission, smiling good-naturedly. Jevi thanks and, left alone, is relieved to look at the stack of scripts. The man watches him, noting his diligence. Jevi recalls seeing the man on the streets of the city. Then various scripts, romantic, historical, thrillers, are shown awaiting actors, and among them is the very script Jevi wants to audition for. The actor reflects that it is strange for him, a man with a cameo in a morning drama, to receive so many scripts. Nevertheless, by reviewing them, he hopes to find the strength to move on. One is disappointed to find that it's a romance again, even though he wanted a thriller. The black-haired man reassures Moon-gyo, saying that he still has the lead role. The blonde man argues emotionally. He is tired of romantic roles and wants to showcase his acting skills in a thriller. The editor or manager talks him into accepting another romantic role, promising a thriller in the future. Jevi holds up a stack of scripts and the blonde man is clearly not happy. Jevi is then shown reading a script and someone discards another script. Finally, the blonde man complains again about the abundance of romance in his career. The guy with the book reflects on the other guy they were once interns with together. Moon-gyo appears to have had more success, and this annoys Jewi. He gets angry and thinks that messing with this person or his entourage is a waste. It will only give him an excuse to criticize. He decides to leave. Suddenly, something strange starts to happen. The book starts to emit magical energy. Jevi holds up the book and is surprised. He reads something about Youth Train and realizes that it matches the text in his book. Suddenly, the manager calls out to Jevi, asking what he is doing. A guy is holding a Train of Youth script and wants to test it out in the practice room. He enters the room and seems to find something that surprises him. Glowing messages related to absorbing skills from Prince Rich and Movie Crash appear in front of him. He realizes that this is not a hallucination, but reality, and ponders the message he has seen. Jevi realizes that what is happening is not a dream, even though it seems unbelievable. He ponders the possibility of playing his part perfectly. He remembers the blonde man, and Jevi irritably mutters a curse, then resigns himself to the situation and decides to act, absorbing the script. Youth Train. The hero is shocked. The author's thoughts overwhelm him. He falls to his knees, dropping the papers. In another scene, he wistfully remembers his friend, recognizing his former blindness. Now, grown up, he realizes that even in that situation, he was different. He talks to the girl, informing her of this. He reflects on how much his world has changed. Jevi is surprised to find that he has completely gotten into the role, as if he had become the character himself. The young man doesn't understand how he got this ability. Previously, he was not even nominated for any awards, and he could only watch on TV how the awards are received by others. Now he's holding an award in his hands. The young man realizes that something is possible. He smiles, confident of his future success. It is claimed that being an aspiring actor is difficult. There are a few people standing together. There are fewer of them than the idols, and they don't rely on the support of an agency. Jevi reflects on the debut and the importance of seizing every opportunity, even the smallest, to audition. The narrative suggests that companies always have people with predetermined roles. Jevi has always been an outcast, but that's all about to change now. He smiles, anticipating the change. Someone asks the team leader if he is busy. The team leader turns around and notices Jevi and asks what's wrong. We are introduced to Park Chan-ik, the head of the first management team. He is in charge of the careers of most of LNK's rising stars. Jewi asks him if he has secured roles in the Youth Train project. Jevi tells the leader that he's heard about 3 open roles for new actors on Youth Train and asks if the cast has already been confirmed. The man wonders why he's asking, and Jevi confirms his interest. The leader asks if Jewi knows that Sung Moon-gyo plays the lead role in Youth Train. He then adds that he and Moon-gyo were peers during the hard times. Jevi reflects that if they work together, he might worry that he will be uncomfortable. Jevi replies that he doesn't mind. He is then asked to choose a role that interests him. Jewi auditions for the role of Kim Do-hoon. The man seems surprised or puzzled by this. Announcement. In Youth Train, Kim Do-hoon is a classmate of the main characters. Jevi realizes that his character plays an important secondary role in the story. The leader recognizes Jevi's passion for acting, but adds a meaningful but. The man hesitates, suggesting that the role may be too complex for the interlocutor. He replies that it is a recurring character, appearing in all episodes with many lines. The leader suggests Jevi start with small roles to gain experience and get used to the camera, but the young man begs for a chance to audition. He clenches his fist and decisively declares that he will give it his best shot, as if this is his last chance. The man agrees. Jevi thanks him in return. Someone asks Jevi if he is auditioning for Train of Youth. Jewi reacts with surprise at the presence of another person. As it turns out, a guy named Lim Ju-won says he's also auditioning for the role of Kim Do-hoon. Lim Ju-won, 2 years after his debut, is a promising newcomer. It turns out that they will now be rivals, and suggests that they both do their best. 2 men shake hands. One of them smiles happily, while the other looks more reserved. The thought that Lim Ju-won was the one he met out of all the possible people he could have met keeps him on his toes. Jevi reflects on how he spends all his time, in the office and rehearsal room, not participating in filming, but now he's sure it will be different this time. Jevi has memorized the script and figured out all the details of the Train of Youth. He smiles encouragingly and urges, "Let's do our best." A group of people are sitting around waiting. They have come to audition for the Youth Train project. There are 7 applicants, including Jevi. Lim Ju-won is sitting down holding some papers. He looks pleased. Jewi reports that Lim Ju-won shows up often and makes connections. He often plays minor roles and gets offers without auditions. Someone asks him if he has been preparing a lot, to which the actor modestly replies that not much at all. Ju-won sarcastically remarks that Jewi had a lot of time to prepare. He complains that he couldn't even read the script properly because of filming. Jevi responds with a short and dry, "Really?" Suddenly, someone walks up. The bespectacled man asks if all the people present are competitors. He replies in the negative and explains that there are candidates for different positions here. The 3 guys look at someone in surprise. Jevi asks, "Are these the people?" A man with papers in his hands gestures to another man and asks, "Right?" The others watch them. The casting director of the Youth Train show welcomes everyone and gestures for them to go indoors and wait. The man compliments her by saying her makeup looks great. The leader hands the script to Jevi, reassuring him and offering to read it. Jevi thanks. At the audition, the girl is given an excerpt of the script. They explain that because of the delays, free performance is canceled. They will audition only on the given text. The girl exclaims indignantly. It is explained to her that the director holds auditions from 9 o'clock in the morning without a break, and she needs to be understanding. However, she is still not satisfied, as she has been preparing a lot. The guy sighs, clearly puzzled about something. Ju-won politely asks if he needs to memorize all this. He is advised not to memorize the text by heart, but rather to read, so as not to spoil the acting by bad rote memorization. A group of people are in an awkward situation. They start gesticulating and rehearsing roles. Jevi says he doesn't know who he's talking to. It's like a scene from a movie. Jevi is sure he will do well. Soon the start of the audition is announced, and the first contestant is named. A man enters the room with a smile and asks, "Cho Sol-hye?" Jo Sol-hye's audition ended up failing in just 5 minutes. She sits with her hands on her head in despair. She realizes that she messed up. She resents the fact that they are not given free rein. The man comforts her, assuring her that she has done well. Jevi is surprised to learn that only 5 minutes have passed. Leader happily announces that it's all over. Ju-won and Leader discuss the cast, mentioning that Moon-gyo is definitely playing the lead and hope for a quick dinner. Leader congratulates someone on a successful audition. Ju-won Productions saw powerful Sam Bok and recognized him. The people around him are excited and think it's a good sign. Jewi is confident that Ju-won will do it right. Ju-won says with a sly look on his face, "No big deal." Jae-hui smiles mysteriously. Soon the leader summons our hero. The man claps Jevi on the shoulder encouragingly, smiling and encouraging him. The boy smiles too, looking confident. Then the scene changes. Someone tells him not to be nervous. Someone is calling for Do Jae-hui. He walks over. He is asked if he has received an excerpt of the script. He confirms, but the interlocutor notices that he doesn't have the script with him and asks if he forgot it. Jevi assures him that he has it all memorized. Jevi is surprised at the sum and asks if this is bragging. The man in the cap suggests that the leader watch and then start. The question is about watching apparently a TV series or a movie, and it is suggested to start from the 3rd episode, from the 25th minute. Someone suggests that another character thinks Kim Gang-hyuk is a match for So Young. In response, Jewi flatly denies this and is outraged, claiming that Min So Young has never judged people based on their wealth. A man tells Kim Gang-hyuk to watch his words and accuses him of acting out of a sense of inferiority. The people sitting at the table were surprised. Jewi pondered whether it would be Min So Young or Kim Kang-hyuk. He yells, belittling someone, pointing out the uselessness of their origin. He was mad as hell, barely containing his anger. Jevi, as the actor, asks him to stop snapping at him. The girl was shocked at how well Jewi was acting. The girl was ecstatic, clapping her hands and exclaiming that it was awesome and creepy. The other, wearing glasses, rubs his hands together, clearly impressed. The girl recalls a quote from the 1st episode about the pain of separation as a visible external condition. Someone asks if he blinked a lot when he was experiencing strong emotions. Jevi replies with a smirk that he wasn't sure what was meant, so he took the liberty of depicting it that way. He just decided to get into the script and played the role of Kim Do-hoon. The girl was delighted with the performance, saying that it was exactly what he envisioned when he wrote the script. Goggles wonders when Jevi learned all the lines. He replies that he learned them 2 days ago. The complete script to episode 4 was sent to the agency 2 days ago. A man with glasses folds his arms thoughtfully and asks if someone could learn the script for 4 episodes and a segment in just 1 day. He continues to ponder what would happen if the amount of text increased or the character itself changed. The bespectacled man asks if he's still coping. Jevi smirks, thinking the question promising, and answers confidently, "Of course." The man lets Jevi go, and the man thanks him. 2 men are surprised by the appearance of such an actor. They are amazed by his skills and wonder how they could not have known about him before, since he appeared to have made his debut quite some time ago. The girl turns to the principal, sure that he is thinking what he is thinking. The director enthusiastically agrees. It is suggested that they rewrite the script completely and make Kim Do-hoon the main character. At this point, Jewi walks out of the room with a smug smile, realizing that everything went well, because now a minor character will become a major character. Jewi happily calls out Hyung to someone. Then another guy with a cell phone in his hand is surprised to see our hero. Jewi reminisces about Lee Moon-soon, with whom they worked together at L&K. Moon-soon then asks the other how the audition went. The other replies that it was the same as usual, nothing new. Moon-sun nostalgically recalls how they used to go to auditions together. The following is a statement that Moon-sun did not quit acting because of a lack of talent. Jewi claims that this man is more talented than himself and a certain Sung Moon-gyo. It is further revealed that the man gave up his acting career due to his lack of charisma. Moon-soon curses as he finishes his shot glass. He reflects on the boredom of life and regrets not drinking all the way through. Jewi advises him to drink in moderation. Moon-soon pours Jehui a drink and says with relief as he watches him, thinking it's a good thing he can buy him a drink after dropping everything himself. Moon encourages Jehui, saying that he believes he'll succeed since he's trying so hard. Jehui gives an embarrassed thank you. Moon says it's too sentimental, offering him a drink. Jevi sits pensively, holding a small glass in his hand. He reflects on the difficulties of an acting career, comparing it to an endless tunnel. Life in general doesn't seem easy to him either. It all feels like walking through pitch darkness in a tunnel with no light in sight. Moon soon asks Jewi how Moon-gyo is doing and if he's still the center of attention. Jewi replies that it's business as usual. Some resent the ingratitude of Moon-gyo, who has changed and forgotten about his previous agreements to help each other after his success. Jae-hui, addressing Moon-soon, advises him to forget about it and let the situation go. Moon-soon reflects on Sung Moon-gyo's success, scolding him irritably. He decides to have a smoke. Despite his reluctance to criticize someone else's success, he's still tormented by the question of why Moon-gyo has changed so much, as his Hyung has noticed. Going outside to smoke, Moon-soon says that the alcohol has gone to his head. He then holds out a pack of cigarettes and offers to take one. Jewi refuses. Moon-soon asks Jewi if he auditioned for Youth Train and how it went. Jewi replies that it seems to have gone well, but still, he wonders who is playing the lead role. Jewi says it's Moon-gyo. That made Moon-soon not even want to smoke. Jewi talks about the cast of the project and is confident in its success. Moon soon asks about the reason for his visit and mentions someone named Song Moon Kyo. Jevi says it's a long story, then hesitates. In fact, Jevi is tired of both other people's success and being ignored. Until some strange ability is gone, he can't be picky. Jaehui is thinking about how to squeeze out Sung Mungyo. Then he reads a message on Kakao Talk from his boss asking him to report early tomorrow. Jaehui decides to go through every possible audition. Jaehui wants Sung Mungyo to experience the same feelings as him. Inside LNK, a silent mechanism has failed. Jevi complains about his obscurity. He made his debut, but his name is not on any portal. His experience is limited to a few student workshops, occasional roles in theater, and a couple of commercials. He considers himself worthless. The office discusses that Jaehui has been chosen. Over Ju-won, one of the employees is surprised by this news. Someone is surprised. Jaehui reports that Im Ju-won has taken the place of the indispensable man. Suddenly, the leader notices Jaehui's presence. The man behind the counter cheerfully offers coffee to the young man. Jevi holds up a cup of coffee, and the leader offers him a friendly motion to go to the break room. Suddenly, someone calls out to Jaehui. It was Ju-won, who congratulates him on his successful audition. Ju-won was visibly upset. Jaehui thanks his interlocutor, and Ju-won says that he has a shoot and leaves. As it turns out, Ju-won left because he wanted to hide his envy. He ponders that without his abilities, he would look just like the person he looks up to. The leader turns to Jaehui and notices that his facial expression is different from the one he had while talking to Ju-won. Jaehui is surprised and asks him again. He is told that he just looks different. The leader says it makes him happy to see him happy. Just now, Jevi feels great and ponders the reason for it. The other two watch him with slight surprise. Jevi suggests that he's happy because he beat his rivals. He finally realizes that he's no different from Im Ju-won and Sung Moon Gyo. Sitting in the break room, Jaehui is surprised. What, seriously? The director is rewriting the script and changing the character? The leader watches him and notices that the director is infatuated with Jevi. An embarrassed Jevi laughs and thanks the leader for such a gift. Soon annoying words come from behind the door. Jevi is obviously worried about something. Someone tries to calm Sul-hee down. Jaehui leans over the table, silently worried, and then a click is heard. A woman with long red hair turns to Jevi looking surprised. The girl suggests that the man talk to her. A woman with a strained smile asks Jevi to ask the director not to. Cut her role. He is told that the director has a thing for him. He is surprised and denies it, asking who said so. She tells Jevi that he did so well in the audition that they are now changing the script and roles. He is advised to ask the director for a specific role, the classmate with the #1 golden spoon, and assured that nothing more will be required. A plea is heard in response. Jaewon says quietly, the past that Jevi wanted to forget comes back. He reminds the girl that the script is the power of the writer and director. Jevi asks what he can do to change things. Jaehui recalls asking Sung Mungyo for a small role. He quotes Moongyo's words to him at the time. Now he looks at the girl with surprise, perhaps sarcasm. Jevi asks the girl if she is trying to get him to take responsibility, because he may have to audition again because of him. In response, he hears a sharp confirmation. Yes, it's because of him. The girl is outraged at Jevi's behavior. She yells, accusing Jevi of memorizing the text, when he should have done the usual thing. She is outraged, asking if he wanted to stand out so badly. Jaehui thinks the situation is hopeless. Jo Sul-hai is surprised by this statement. She is told that she has never prepared properly for an audition in her life. An says that if someone's role is cut from the script, it means that person is not talented and irreplaceable enough. Jevi is surprised that the girl doesn't realize her place. He opens the door. Jevi says that you can tell by the look on his face that she is just greedy and jealous, and asks her to show understanding. Jevi then asks where they stand. It's about the director. The leader remembers director Moon Byung-chul. He is confident that he needs to succeed. Jaehui reflects on director Moon Byung-chul and the fact that if his project fails, he might get sucked into directing weekend serials or working in the planning department. Jevi ponders whether the drop in ratings is due to the deterioration. The leader objects, arguing that producers do not work on fixed-term contracts, and the script change serves as proof of that. The director is impulsive. Because of this, the actors complain about him all the time. During filming, revisions to the script are commonplace, and new pages are constantly appearing. Jevi explains that some actors' screen time is reduced under the pretext of art, while others are given more lines. Since the number of episodes in a contract is fixed, characters can't be completely removed, but their importance can be significantly reduced. The leader notes that he is in constant conflict with the lead actors in each project, but is a skillful director. He believes that the agency needs to handle this situation well. Jevi begins to understand the principal's preferences. He prefers obedient and compliant people. Jewi asks if the director personally chose a certain Sung Moon Gyo. The leader replies that the production company had some influence and wonders why. Jewi is sure that the director didn't choose Sung Moon Gyo himself because he's known for being rebellious and arrogant. Jewi's advice is to pretend that he doesn't know anything. Apparently, the producers are trying to make up for the losses from Sung Moon Gyo's failed movie with a new drama. Jewi reflects on Sung Moon Gyo's proud character and doubts how long he can put up with the cranky old-school principal. But still, even so, Jevi declares that it's none of his business. The blonde man sighs nervously, holding his head and looking at the script. He is annoyed. Jevi watches him and notes his anxious behavior. Jevi ponders, realizing that someone didn't get the gist of what they read, and that despite the claims, everyone's romance game is the same. He reads the script. Suddenly, a semi-transparent window appears with information about the drama Train of Youth. All the episodes of the drama are 100% internalized. A man appears and asks if everyone is gathered. At the first meeting, the man offers to introduce himself to everyone. Today, the cast is rehearsing a reading of episodes 1 through 4. It will take more than half a day. The actors are introduced. One will play Woo Jin, and the other will play Seo Yoon. The girl is looking forward to working together. Yuosha introduces himself as Jaehui, a new actor confirmed to play the role of Kim Do-hoon. He feels that the task is beyond him, but is determined to approach it with humility. A guy in a cap and glasses reads a script. Spring 2009. The main characters are introduced. Lee Woo-jin comes from a poor family and has nothing but courage. Kim Gang-hyuk is a high school student who gets away with it thanks to his powerful congressman father. Also introduced is Hai, schoolgirl So Yoon, who is in between these two guys. A girl in a school uniform, slightly embarrassed, tucks a strand of hair behind her ear. She is the first love for two young men. The girl, embarrassed, explains something. She hopes that her two friends will make up. After graduation, So Young tries to repair their relationship. Moon Gayo asks, "Friends?" The blonde man sadly admits that because of his friendship with Kang Hyuk, he completely missed out. He says that no one bothered him in the neighborhood, and it was completely his world. Then he asks sharply, "Do you know that?" The expression on his face is tense, and he looks angry. The character feels like an outsider among the people around him. He reflects on his friend, the rich Kang Hyuk. Despite their friendship, their worlds are completely different. It becomes clear that this is the key scene of the first episode and the first scene he played. The man with glasses hesitates, putting a finger to his chin. He turns to Moon-gyo and asks him to wait. The leader asks Moon-gyo to play again, better hiding his emotions. Moon-gyo seems surprised or puzzled by the request to hide feelings. The bespectacled man tells the blonde guy that he is being too obvious about his feelings. He thinks that the situation should be more humiliating for the speaker, since all this is happening in front of the girl he likes. Moon-gyo gloomily looks away and begs to be allowed to do something again. The narration describes this scene as a difficult one, where he laments his different fate from that of Kim Gang-hyuk. Jevi describes a difficult scene full of sadness and humiliation. He believes that the hero is now too emotional, and only anger can be seen in his acting. Jevi drinks water and criticizes the superficial analysis of the character. The reading continues. Thanks to the acting experience of everyone present, the atmosphere isn't bad. Someone bows and praises So Young. The girl thanks the guy. The narrative reports the problem. The other guy exclaims, "Me!" He looks alarmed. Ju-won stands up abruptly from the table. With a smile, he says, "You know." Two others in the background react to this. A man, apparently Kim Gang-hyuk, indignantly reminds someone of himself. Jewi mentions that he is Kim Kyung-oh, a minor male character in the piece. Jevi discusses the male model, assuming he was put on the project because of his popularity. He is impressed. Jevi thinks that this man could win all the awards. The jury asks him not to behave a certain way, as in the script. Jevi thinks that guy's looks are a waste. In any case, the bespectacled man suggests moving on to the next scene. Someone is waiting for their turn. The final scene of the first episode is shown, where he goes to Woo Jin's house and they have a drink together. In the shot, Woo Jin is squatting on the floor. He fidgets and looks worried. At that moment, someone knocks on the door. The blonde man asks, "Do-hoon, is that you?" Do-hoon, a little surprised, answers in the affirmative. Myo-kyung then asks him to open the door quickly. A guy in a blue sweatshirt walks by saying something and clenching his fist. At first, Myo-kyung declares that she has something to say. Then, Apparently reading the script, she notices an oddity on the page. This is followed by a rebuke in an arrogant tone. The blonde man, holding up the script, asks with a chuckle if he thinks he can look down on him. Jevi, with a serious look, replies that he has never done that before, but that he will now. Jae reprimands Moon Kyung for causing trouble. The girl is surprised that he repeats it a second time without looking and ponders how much he's memorized. She is amazed by his acting, marveling at how he can play without delay and without looking at the script. Jae turns to Moon Kyung, warning him not to get overconfident and hinting that he must understand something after what he's seen. He asks how long the children will be at his side. Moon-gyo has a sly expression on his face, interjects what he's been told, and threateningly advises him to be careful. Jevi warns him that he is being followed. Jae soon realizes his mistake and apologizes to Moon-gyo, explaining that he did it without looking. Blondie is happy that Jevi is wrong too, seeing it as a display of humanity. Blondie, on the other hand, is angry and curses. He is advised to read the script carefully. The man with glasses smiles contentedly. The script was unexpectedly rewritten, and everyone had to work hard to make sense of it, but everyone managed to analyze the new version. He offers a corporate dinner at a meat restaurant as a thank you. The model asks enthusiastically about the beef. The bespectacled man replies that he'll think about it after the show is over. Soon the leader asks Jevi if he is finished. He then asks how his children are doing. The leader then admires Jevi's acting, calling him a monster in a good way. The blonde seems unhappy with what's going on and thinks it's nothing. A man approaches the principal to ask him to let some guys go with him for a while. Moon-gyo aggressively lashes out at Jewi, accusing him of being arrogant after a successful audition. The leader, however, tries to restrain the aggressor, urging him to calm down and talk. Jevi rebukes the other for poor training. The blonde tries to break free. The leader asks him to stop. The blonde man resents Jevi's behavior, who barely made it through the audition and is now arrogant. The man violently grabs the blonde man by the pecs. He yells for the man to stop. The aggressor curses and regrets having contacted this man for work. At that moment, Jewi remembers why Sung Mung-gyo ignored him, clenching his fist. He reflects on the fact that after Moon-gyo's success, the lives of those who didn't reach his level began to seem insignificant to him. The blonde man is furious and tries to lash out and yells at Jevi, accusing him of deliberately saying nasty things during his performance as if provoking him. A man is annoyed by the participation of Jevi, a man he dislikes, in the project. He resents why this man was allowed to join. Jae realizes that he seems like a real plague to Moon-gyo. Walking away, Jevi thinks that touching him might infect him with failure, but he is shocked by such an arrogant statement. Soon, Jevi entered the room. The company sits around the table. Jevi apologizes to the elder for being late. Then he asks to be given the tongs and declares that he will fry by himself from now on. A group of friends are enjoying and anticipating someone's culinary skills, namely grilling skills. Later, someone arrives and is joyfully greeted. A blonde man walks up to another man and calls him over. He replies that the meat on the table is not ready yet. The first man reassures him, saying that everything is fine. A blonde man complains of nausea. The dark-haired man listens to him with his head bowed. The guy in the scarf says the lead actor should sit right in front of the director. A girl notices and says that someone is being rude. The guy with the scarf sighs and asks if he always acts like this, suggesting that such behavior is a bad sign. Jevi says he is not very close to a certain person. It is mentioned that the industry in Korea is small. Jewi calls everyone to the table. At the end, the topic of the sudden disappearance of a popular Korean actor is brought up, like a newcomer that no one had even heard of suddenly appearing on all 3 major network channels. Jevi realized that after all, it all starts with small, subtle impressions like this one. The man holding a glass in one hand and chopsticks in the other, smiling, thinks of the elder Omaran. He notes her calm but authoritative nature. He also adds that she has clear expectations of her younger colleagues. Jae-hi thinks that a good impression left on a veteran actress is very important. It is the key to successful future work. He smiles contentedly, blushing slightly. He's pleased that he's managed to get the actress to like him. This is a good start for his career. The man in glasses praised everyone for a great job and a good start. He raised his glass as if to toast those present. The 3 men clink small glasses. Jae-hee was called over to join the company. He approached, his friends with a smile, holding a glass in his hand. Someone put a hand on his shoulder in a friendly manner and suggested that he make the first toast. Jae-hee seemed pleased at the suggestion. Jae-hi slowly opened his eyes. He looked surprised, or confused. It looked like he had just woken up. A quiet sigh escaped his lips. Something fell with a clatter in the room. An object that looked like a book flew off to the side, spinning in the air. The young man woke up in bed with a severe headache. He tried to remember how much he had drunk the night before and wondered if he had lost his mind. The young man, stunned, raised his hand in a gesture of surprise. His eyes widened and his face showed extreme amazement. He asked someone to wait a second. The hero woke up in an unfamiliar room. His gaze fell on a computer desk with 2 monitors, a keyboard, and a mouse. He was puzzled to think that this place did not look like his dormitory at all. Someone suddenly wondered if Jae-hi was awake. The son came home very late, the mother remarked reproachfully. She added that if it hadn't been for Moonsung's friend, he would have frozen outside, sleeping with his mouth open. Jae-hi, embarrassed, thought back to yesterday. He was in a good mood, and so he and Moonsung Hyung decided to continue the banquet! The woman called out to the guy, saying she had made bean sprout soup. The boy turned to her. He thought it was his house. He swung his feet off the bed and stood on the floor. The young man returned home. Despite the remaining debts, he felt comfortable. The cozy atmosphere of home never disappeared. He remembered how he used to sit at the table and have a nice meal. The father was then concerned about the fate of his son. He hopes that he will do well. The mother was sure that Jae-hi knew what she was doing and there was no reason to worry. The mother asked the young man if he was under a lot of stress. The boy seemed to ponder the question. He was sweating a little. The woman noticed that her son had not been home for a long time. He assured her that he was doing well. Jae-hi breathed a sigh of relief, thinking of his mother. He thinks that even with her age, she has retained her beauty. Her attractiveness is the reason why he looks pretty good himself, because he inherited his looks from her. A young man was asked if the dish was tasty. The young man was asked if the dish was tasty. A mother looks at her drunken son with fondness. Even when he comes home completely drunk, she is still pleased to see him. She carefully informs her son that she has prepared roasted dried radish and bean sprout soup for him. Proud of herself, she asks if she is doing a good job as a mother. The son chuckles embarrassedly, not knowing what to answer. The woman turns reproachfully to Jae-hi sitting at the table. She asks why he does not visit her at least once in a while. The young man, caught off guard by the question, freezes with a spoon in his hand. On the table in front of him are plates of rice, soup, and appetizers, as well as 2 mugs. A woman sits at the kitchen table and smiles thoughtfully. She's thinking about how nice it is to get together as a family for dinner. She likes the atmosphere of family meals and the warmth of home-cooked food. Jae-hi reflects on the fact that he would have previously mistaken someone's actions for acting. He felt unworthy of his family because of the failure. Now his feelings have changed. He is determined and no longer doubts himself. December 18th, 10 p.m. A woman sits at her desk, thinking with her hand resting on her chin. The SBC mini-series, Youth Train, is on tonight. She is informed that she will see her son's face much more often from now on. The mother looks away in surprise, his mouth ajar. She tries to ask something but is interrupted. Her mother was delighted and surprised to learn that she had been auditioned. She covered her mouth with her hands, unable to believe her happiness. Now it was full of anticipation and hope. He realized that now he had a reason to speak with confidence. This event gave him strength and courage. The mother, admiring her son, joyfully exclaims how wonderful he is. The mother screamed that now was not the time for all this, but she couldn't contain her emotions. His mother asks him to hurry up. Jae-hi, with a blush on his cheeks, realized something important to himself. He smiled contentedly as he realized it. The woman, smiling happily, is on the phone. This is the moment she has been waiting for since Jae-hi's acting career. She looks happy and excited. He reads a news article on his phone about the upcoming drama Train of Youth. The article talks about the participation of a young actor, Do Jae-hee, who will play the role of Kim Do-hoon. He is from the same agency. As actor Sung Moonka Jae-hee tries to say what was written about him in the article, and his mother thinks it should be used immediately to promote him. The mother joyfully informed Young-hee's mother on the phone that their son would be on television. She excitedly repeated the date and time of the broadcast twice. Soon, Jae-hi came out of the dining room. An decides it's time to look at the script. The script was given to him by team leader Park. Director Park handed the script to Jae-hi. He told the young man that he had received the script as a gift. The gift was given to him last night on his way back from a party. The young man, holding the script in his hands, thanked his superior with a smile, addressing him as Sir. He was thinking about something, and with each thought he felt more and more grateful. A total of 3 scenarios were received. One of them was called My Youngmak Artists. The other script had the title A Woman's Lament. All of the submitted movies will begin filming later this year. The third script was titled The young man, holding a folder labeled Bus, hesitated. He was pondering who to start the takeover with. Jae-hi was surprised. Jae-hi, reading the translucent text, learned that the script's synchronization had reached 77%. After a while, he reached the maximum affinity level with the script. Script affinity has reached its maximum level. The completion percentage feature for unreleased movies has been opened. The character is apparently surprised by the new feature and wonders what it is. A list of unreleased movies has been presented. The movie Artists of Manhwa is 67% complete. A Woman's Cry is also on the list, and it is 58% ready. Another movie is Bus Driver, which is 62% ready. The young man looked at some numbers, pondering. He couldn't figure out what they meant. A score out of 100 points or a load percentage. The screen in front of him displayed incomprehensible symbols and numbers that looked like system data. But he knew one thing for sure. The young man looked at the glowing hologram and thought for a moment. His attention was attracted by the information about the completion rate, which was 77%. He pondered the meaning of this indicator. Jae-hi took the script in his hands. He looked at it curiously and puzzled, pondering the contents. Jae-hi looks at the movie titles and ratings popping up in front of him. The movie Miracle in That Jail is rated 92 out of 100. He continues to study the list. Next on the list is the movie The Lawyer with a rating of 96 out of 100. At the bottom of the list is the movie Tasty Love, Nasty Ending. Its rating is much lower, only 45 points out of 100. The films Miracle in That Prison and The Lawyer are considered masterpieces of Korean cinema. Jae-hi reflects on these films. He rates them very high, over 90 points. Information about the movie Delightful Love, Disappointing Finale is displayed on the screen. The movie received only 45 points out of 100. The debut work of the production company Song Pro proved to be a flop. The movie did not even garner 1.5 million views. Jae-hi, holding a sheet of text in his hands, said thoughtfully, "So," he studied the document with interest. The young man reflected on the fact that completion rate does not always equal box office success. However, it does allow him to filter out quality works. He smiled contentedly, clutching the script in his hand. Jae-hi keeps his hand on the stack of papers. In that case, he decides, he'll have to take on the youth train as well. Jae-hi, leaning over the manuscript, raised an eyebrow in surprise. He read the information on the youth train tablet. Takeover does not work with unfinished scripts. Confused, the young man noted that no numbers were displayed. Jae-hi was surprised to learn that takeovers don't work with unfinished scripts. He realized that shows that are filmed in real time, with a script that is constantly being finalized, cannot be absorbed. The guy throwing books around predicts failure for most doramas except for Train of Youth. He is confident that this project will be a hit. The understanding of the situation was becoming clearer and clearer. Results: 67 points, 58 points, and 62 points. These were scenario scores. Jae stated that he did not need to force himself to do that kind of work. He decided that he would not force himself. The young man ponders the large amount of work he has to do. He is sure that he only needs to wait a little longer. Reflecting on the project, he is sure that he will definitely succeed. Jae is looking for a team leader. He thinks this is the perfect time to find him. It's just after lunchtime, so it's likely that the leader has either left for a shoot or this is a great chance to catch him. Someone in the room noticed Jae and addressed him. Jae turned around and saw an acquaintance who gave him a friendly smile. The leader noticed how well Jae looked, noting his rested appearance. Jae explained that after each drink, he rested all the next day. The leader is happy that his ward is well rested. He adds that he has some important news. Jae, surprised, wonders what kind of news are we talking about. Judging from the conversation, the caller confirms that it is LNK. The leader reports that the right person has just arrived. Someone approached Jae and the leader. He looks toward the source of the sound, trying to figure out what's going on. In that moment, Jae realizes he knows this man. Jae raised his eyebrows in surprise. Leader walked up behind him with a sly expression. The man whispered something in the boy's ear. Jae blushed embarrassedly. The man who had been called noted that he had not seen Jae for a long time. He was glad to see him. Jae was introduced to the new colleagues he was to work with. He was reminded of Jack. A girl with short blonde hair and large earrings greets Jae and the leader. The leader introduces a girl named Youngmi. He explains that she has recently joined their company, having previously worked for another company. The man adds that Youngmi is a stylist who will now be working with Jae. The schedule and all the cases have been handed over to Jack. Now, you just have to take it and listen. Jae agrees. Jae asks Jack if he is still doing all the same work. The man seemed surprised by the question. Jae-hi reminds the man that he is now a director, and he doesn't need to be a manager anymore. He wonders if the man is right in his judgment. Jack rubs his temple thoughtfully. He laments the lack of managers lately. He complains of low pay and harsh working conditions. In addition, the reality of working in the entertainment industry is very different from his previous perceptions. Jack, addressing the young man, stated that he had no claim. Jack continued that he hasn't done road work in a long time. It gives him a sense of nostalgia, and he is sure it will be fun. Jae-hee reflects that the presence of Jack's experienced manager on the set will give confidence. Another source of peace of mind will be the presence of a girl named Yeonmi. The girl is on the phone, pondering whether she should have shaken hands when they met. She notes that Jae-hi is definitely different from the others. Jae-hi, smiling happily, introduces himself and says he is looking forward to working together. Suddenly, Jack suggested that they move to another location and discuss the work. Jae-hee and Yeonmi happily agreed to the suggestion. Jack exclaimed, "Good!" He held the document in his hands, probably having just read it. The contents of the document seemed to have hit him hard. A man handed the girl a teaser concept. He said they have a teaser and poster shoot for Youth Train on Saturday. The girl was looking at the photos. Yeonmi explained that they were concept photos that she had prepared after meeting with the head of Youth Train's costume team. Jae-hi was amazed at the amount of work that had been done. He looked at the stack of documents in amazement. So much had been accomplished in 2 days. Jack ponders the concept of a teaser. He thinks that traveling by train is a fairly common idea. However, he thinks the theme is perfect for Train of Youth. Kim Do-hoon's character costume will emphasize his profession as a journalist. Yeonmi shows the sketch of the costume. It was decided that the look would be simple and modern. Jae-hi exclaims delightedly that everything is perfect. Jack replies that they haven't even started yet, and if there's a problem, he'll probably just drop the whole thing. Jack believes that his words may seem empty. However, seeing his interlocutor coming to the office every day and reading the script, he believes in his imminent success. He is sure that Jae-hi will soon achieve recognition and begin to shine. Jae-hi smiles contentedly upon hearing the touching story. He notes with slight irony that the story is indeed touching. Jae-hee turns to Jack, asking if she remembers the look in the man's eyes when he read the script. A man full of ambition tried to hide it. Jack asked Jae-hee not to take his words the wrong way. Then he added that everyone needed a modicum of ambition, chuckling nervously. Jae-hi inquired as to how things were now. He smiles slightly as he looks at his companion. Then he hesitated, realizing something important. Now he would have to watch the expression on his visage more carefully. Jack looks at Ji in surprise. "Now?" he asks. Something seems to have hit him hard. Jae-hee asks his interlocutor what he thinks now. Apparently, he was expecting a certain reaction. Jack smiled enigmatically, as if he was up to something interesting. He was going to say or show something. He began his sentence with the word, "It's..." Jack turns to Jae-hee, noting that the latter is more ambitious than he seemed. Jae-hee smiles contentedly, looking at Jack. Jack suggests that Jae-hee is missing something after all. Jae-hee replies that he is not. The blonde sitting at the table tells Jack that he looks happy enough. Jack turns to Yeonmi, saying that he's known someone she's seeing for the first time for a long time. He's sure he's right, relying on his intuition. In response to Jack's certainty, the girl expresses her doubt. The man confidently told Yeonmi that it was. Jack notices that Yeonmi has a habit of picking on words. Jae-hi chuckles and asks the two to stop arguing. He says that both are right. The young man watches them and finds them amusing. Jack suggested dinner to celebrate the actor's debut before everyone went home. Yeonmi didn't seem to mind having dinner. She thought it wasn't a bad idea. Jae-hi suggested a dinner of pork bone soup. The two responded enthusiastically to the offer. They happily declared their love for this dish. Jack and Yeonmi prepared the perfect setting for the hero. He's happy with their work. The teaser shoot is scheduled for the day after tomorrow. Jae-hi smiled contentedly. He wondered how best to spend his time. Jae-hi called out to Jack. The man holding the phone in his hand turned around in surprise. He noticed that Jae-hi was out earlier than usual. Jack greeted Jae-hee, saying that he was going to call him in 10 minutes. Jae-hi attributed his early arrival to his excitement before the first shoot, which had caused him to wake up early. Due to his previous work experience, the hero feels confident. He enjoys the fresh morning air, finding it most pleasant. Jack asks if it's time for them to go out. Jae-hi answers the question in the affirmative with a smile. Yeonmi is sitting in the interior of the car, holding her phone in her hands. She was thinking about something and said, "Hello?" Jae-hi turns to a girl named Youngmi and wonders if she's tired. He recalls how they were all sitting in a cafe. The blonde was drinking from a tall glass, and the two fell asleep right on the table. Yeonmi is thinking about something. Her gaze expresses slight surprise. Jae-hee thinks that the more he sees of this girl, the more he is convinced of her uniqueness. It's 5 in the morning. It's still 4 hours before the shooting starts, but the young man needs time to prepare. He sits in the car and thinks about the day ahead. Some preparations need to be made before the filming starts. The actor was fully prepared for the shoot. He corrected the badge on his clothes. His impeccable style after applying makeup caused admiration of others. Jae-hee was trying on a new outfit and the others were watching him. The girl asked Jae-hee how he liked the outfit. He replied briefly that the outfit suited him. Moon-gyo and Kim Kyung-ho are in big trouble. Jack cheers, showing a thumbs up. Yeonmi nods approvingly, replying, "Of course." The girl continues the conversation, noting that he has good looks. Thanks to this, any clothes look good on him. Jack admires Yeonmi's taste in choosing clothes. He thinks she has a great eye for stylish outfits. He ponders that if he wore the same outfit as Jae-hee, he wouldn't look as good at all. Youngmi agrees with the previous statement, finding it obvious. All in all, everything was ready to go. Jae-hee turns to Yeonmi, noting her insight and ability to hit the mark. Yeonmi calmly asks if it's true. Jae-hin feels different from when he wears his own clothes. The new clothes feel unfamiliar. He stood there, immersed in his thoughts. The young man could feel the atmosphere around him contributing to his total immersion. Even the air seemed to help him get into character. Jae-hee was becoming more and more imbued with his character. He was ready for action. The guy kept looking around, trying to figure out what was going on. On the street, people were passing by. Jae-hee could feel the stares of passers-by. It was a new sensation for him. Jae-hee thought about something, and then Jack called out to him. Jae-hee inquired as to how the other one was doing. The man with a sly smile motioned for Jae-hee to come out. The young man held the door and then turned around. That afternoon, on his way to the set of Train of Youth, Jae-hee was riding in the car. He looked pleased and confirmed something to Jack. For some unknown reason, he couldn't sleep. Someone informed Jae-hee that they were almost there. Jae-hee smiled happily, anticipating their imminent arrival. Someone admires Gyeonggang Station. He thinks the place is perfect for the atmosphere of the drama. Jae-hee looks at the screen of his cell phone. The clock reads 8:20. There are about 20 minutes left until the scheduled call time. In the interior of the car, one of the characters asks the other what they should do next, and if they should wait a bit. Jae-hee gets excited and replies that he will go and say hello. Jack suggested we go together since Jae-hee has her first shoot. He thought it was a good idea. The young man agreed to the suggestion with a smile, saying, "Okay." Someone walks briskly toward the principal. He calls out to him. A young man greeted someone with a question about how they were feeling. The young man seemed glad to have this meeting. He is surrounded by at least 3 other guys. All of them look friendly. They seem to be waiting for Jae-hee. One of the guys pointed out that Jae-hee came in early. The young man laughs and says it all worked itself out. The interlocutor notes the perfect match. 2 boys took Jae-hee under their arms. They told him that he had shown up at just the right moment. Someone gently nudged the young man and asked him to stand in a certain place. The young man was a little surprised. The man with the glasses smiled contentedly as he watched him. Everything was going according to plan. He was pleased with his appearance. The boy looked confident and calm. Jae-hee suggested that the project members are on the verge of pulling out of the miniseries. Someone called out to the director. The director, wearing glasses and a dark jacket, turned around excitedly. The man noticed 2 other people he knew. He smiled at the presence of Seo-yoon and Kyung-ho. The girl met the director's gaze with a cheerful smile. Kyung-yu greeted him with a slight bow of his head. The director thanked the assembled people for coming so early in the morning. They all listened attentively to him. Looks like all the actors are in. The director cheerfully announces the arrival of all the participants. He suggests starting with a storyboard over a cup of hot coffee. A guy in glasses and a scarf informed the director that one person had not arrived yet. The director seemed to be already aware of this and was not too surprised by the news. Director is puzzled as to why someone hasn't shown up yet, even though it's late. He wonders who the actor is. The director was informed that Sung Mong-gyo hadn't arrived yet. This immediately alerted the director. The director is wondering when Sung Mong-gyo will arrive. He's told he'll contact him immediately. Someone asked to see if Moon-gyo had arrived. A man wearing glasses and a scarf said he had just called and was told that Moon-gyo would be here in 5 minutes. He was resentful of being late for the first shoot. Jae-hee looked away thoughtfully. Even though he realized it wasn't the FD's fault, he was still plagued with guilt. He felt bad about the situation. Jack reassures the other, telling him not to worry too much because it's all for show. Jae-hee looks at him in surprise and asks him again. Someone's putting on a show. It's their way of hinting that tardiness will have unpleasant consequences for the innocent. Jae stands at the window and looks at the white van parked outside. Jack talks about Moon-gyo. He used to be different. When he became a leader, he picked up bad habits from his elders. The man adjusted the belt on his pants. He asked the question, like what? Then asked, what else? In fact, Moon-gyo just likes to be a leader. A man was climbing out of the van. Jae was concerned. He wondered why it had come to a conflict. In his opinion, everything could have been resolved peacefully. Soon, Jack called out Moon-gyo's name. Jae heard someone who was a newcomer say the same thing he was saying now. Jack sighed, contemplating whether he should talk to the other young man. He felt he had to say something. Jae hears Moon-gyo being told off for being late for the first day of shooting. Yeonmi asked the young man not to worry too much. She believes that it is better to scold the guilty party herself than to let a stranger take the blame, especially if that person doesn't even know the person they are trying to vindicate. A blonde woman with a disgruntled face reflects on what's going on. She notices that everyone is smiling in public, but behind the scenes there is a constant struggle. She concludes that it's all pure politics and nothing more. Jae looked thoughtfully to the side and confirmed the girl's words. Jae thinks he is pathetic. He reflects on the crew, the managers, the director, and the actors. They all hide daggers behind their smiles, fighting for power. Jae looked away thoughtfully. He considered the most pathetic sight. Suddenly, the car door opened. The blonde-haired young man gets out of the car and apologizes. His manager must have gotten the time wrong. He asks the greeters where the director is. Here he is, the Moon-gyo everyone's been waiting for. Jae was puzzled as he watched Moon-gyo's actions. Young Mai was beside him, thinking it was just another performance. She doubted Moon-gyo's success. However, she immediately became confident that it would work. The director watches him in surprise. No one dares to admonish the lead actor who is in such a hurry. Jae is confident and ready for a confrontation. Looks like someone picked the wrong opponent. Sung Moon-gyo is not among director Moon Byung-chul's favorite actors. He wasn't even personally chosen by him for the project. Director Moon Byung-chul is known for his frequent conflicts with leading actors. This director is not one to fall for flimsy excuses of dodgy actors. He is considered an incredible troublemaker in the drama industry. He is known for his tough character and intolerance to deceit. A director known as a troublemaker is waving a knife around. He thinks it's art. This director has an unwavering pride. He refuses to change his working methods. Jae looked away doubtfully. He thought the idea was doomed to failure. Suddenly someone clapped. The man in glasses grinned contentedly, turning to the young man. Apparently they had agreed on something important. Jae looked a little puzzled. The famous actor's song had finally arrived. At this moment, Jae was puzzled. Soon, everyone began whispering about the event. The director addresses Moon-gyo when talking about the value of actor song's time. He implies that it's not worth wasting the actor's time. Moon-gyo seemed to be surprised. A man with glasses addresses a blonde-haired young man, assuming he didn't hear him. He informs him that it is time to get ready for the shoot, and the young man is late. Moon-gyo is late and apologizes. The guy attributes his tardiness to the fact that the manager took them down the wrong road. The director ironically suggests changing the navigation system. Yes, Moon-gyo's plan worked. He outsmarted everyone. Behind the blonde, the couple can barely contain their laughter, much to Moon-gyo's displeasure. The girl suddenly started laughing like a horse. The guy next to her seemed to find the situation funny, too. Yeonmi noted the fiery temper of the person in question. They also added that, as they say, the best show is the fight. Jae realized who he was talking about. Yeonmi asked to bring popcorn next time. Jae promised that he would. The young man also noted to himself that Yeonmi was scarier than he thought. A teaser video is like the moment before the main course is served. It is an anticipation, a brief moment of expectation. In other words, it serves as a kind of aperitif, igniting interest before the main event. Unlike a trailer, which is enjoyable, the purpose of a short video is to pique viewers' curiosity. The content of the video may have nothing to do with the actual content. A dark-haired girl in a light-colored coat put her hand to her chin thoughtfully. Her face came into the focus of the camera, and the recording began. The girl continues her monologue. Apparently, she is going to tell about herself and someone else. The words "all of us" hung in the air. It seemed to be about something important, and the atmosphere was tense. Yes, it's the time of youth. A girl with brown hair, dressed in a jacket and turtleneck, smiles slightly and makes a hand gesture. She looks confident and calm. The title of this movie is The Train of Youth. A blonde-haired guy in dark clothes stares pensively out the window. The sunlight falls on his face, illuminating it. Youth Train is ranked number 2 in real-time trends. The audience received the movie very well. The girl admires the quality of the video and the brightness of the colors. Her colleagues share her delight discussing the picture. One staff member notes that a lot of money was spent on the movie, and it is noticeable. He is amazed at the lack of cheap computer graphics, believing that movie crews work on a completely different level. The man smiled broadly, about to say something. Jack admires the young man's acting, noting his ability to captivate the audience. He really captures the audience's attention. Jae-hi is modest, saying he only appeared in the shot for a moment, behind the girl. He is barely visible. Jack smirked, pointing a finger at him. He thinks his friend is lying, because he's the one who stole all the attention from the audience. Leaving the teaser aside, the man smiles, looking at the screen of his phone. A search engine page is open on the screen, and in the news trends he sees information about the TV series Train of Youth and a rookie actor from the show. Someone asks him what it's like to see all this in a real-time trending list. Jae-hi reads a list on his phone that lists various events and people. The list mentions an aspiring actor from Youth Train, ranked 18th. Compared to the other items on the list, this actor is given almost zero attention. Nevertheless, Jae-hi noticed that his face appeared online. His friend standing next to him put a hand on his shoulder. It turned out to be an exciting event for the young man. Jae-hi, watching the screens filled with comments, attention, and recognition. He had achieved what he had been waiting for all along. The news of the 2 rising stars selected by L&K flashed on the screen. Meanwhile, he felt as if he was falling into a devilish temptation from which it was impossible to get out. Jae-hi smiles contentedly. Jack, on the other hand, exclaims happily, pleased with the current situation. The reaction to what is happening is perfect. He is sure that the competition is weak this time. They can expect good results. Jae smiles happily. Jack pats him on the shoulder encouragingly. He praises the boy for his enthusiasm and determination. He is satisfied with the current results and is confident of further success. It wasn't long before the fun began. Moon-gyo refused to watch anything that was offered to him. He was clearly annoyed by the director's suggestion. The director asked the guy what was wrong. Moon-gyo explained that he meant that Jae-hi looked good in the teaser. He offered to let him take a look. Moon-gyo suddenly gets irritated with the teaser. He thinks it's filled with cheap, second-rate emotions. He thought what was going on was a pathetic poseur. 2 men are discussing Moon-gyo. One of them looks scared and surprised. He asks what happened. Jack confesses that he is afraid of Moon-gyo and hesitates to talk to him. Jack was about to say something, but he was interrupted. The director suddenly announced the end of filming. Director inquired about the atmosphere around him. He suggested that we finish shooting before lunch and take photos for the poster. A man rushes Moon-gyo, saying that they need to hurry up with taking pictures. He reminds her that they are in a tourist spot. Soon, many children will come here to ride rail bikes. The crew is puzzled as to why the director has stopped shooting again, as the scene was not bad. Someone suggested that the director was just trying to impose discipline on the set. The director explains that his set has its own rules, and no one is allowed to walk around with their head held high. The director apologized and asked to extend the filming time by only an hour. The man was informed that there was little time left on their filming permit. He was asked if he could relax a little. The director is dissatisfied with the actor's performance and demands more expression. Moon-gyo doesn't understand. What the hell? Jae-hi thinks that when the director and actor don't get along, the crew suffers. Jack tells the other guy about how Moon-gyo got told off that day. The guy with glasses was perplexed as to why this particular person brought up the director's sore subject. He was sure the team leader had explained the situation to the principal. Perhaps the man had simply forgotten. The girl speculates about the actor's character. She assumes that the actor purposely held back. Perhaps it was due to the main role. Glasses is sure that this time it's his fault. Being late for the first shoot casts doubt on the director's authority. He agrees that this man is to blame. The young man had a premonition that the shooting would be grueling. He was worried about his older colleague and his future fate, as he himself could no longer visit the set. The man put his finger to his lips thoughtfully. The guy in the white shirt ponders that no matter what, this guy isn't stupid enough to completely lose his mind. He seems to be very upset about something. He's been watching Moon-kyo and is puzzled by his behavior. The young man is surprised that Moon-kyo is reacting so violently to the principal's reprimand. Was the reprimand really that serious? The reason seems pretty weak to him. He thinks that this person isn't the kind of person who would snap and ruin his career. Even though Sung Mong-gyo is a leader, Jack, in turn, reported another problem. The second man turns to him and waits with interest for an explanation. He asks what the problem is. The man squinted slyly, mulling something over. The man with glasses turned around in surprise upon hearing something. Someone called out to Jaehee. 2 men standing nearby turned to him. As it turned out, no one knew that. Jaehee was behind them and had heard everything. He wondered what they thought of him. Want the next part? Write the secret word, actor, in the comments. That way I'll know you've watched this video to the end. Let's get 200 likes for a quick continuation. See you later, and bye-bye.